going?
And it's Ben Brown, and it's 2024, and I got my buddy Brad. We just finished class. We're doing closed guard, and we've done the fundamentals of closed guard. We did the scissor sweep, which is like the most fundamental, basic week one sweep that black belts still use. You know, that's just a thing. Black belt is doing white belt techniques at a black belt level. I believe in that. I don't think you need to get all fancy to be effective at jiu-jitsu. And for guys that are getting up there in age like us, we can't do that anymore. To me, the gold standard for submissions from closed guard is the triangle. It's the strongest part of your body against a very small, weak part of theirs. And when you get the technique and the angle right, it's really hard to defend. Very hard to do something about, and we'll show you here in a second. So, closed guard. First thing is, to do anything to Brad, he needs his hands on my hips. So I have to be good at either keeping him off my hips or getting him off my hips. I have to be good at breaking his base and posture with my connection and my knee pull, right? I try to keep my hips up, my heels heavy, my knees tight. So all that in place, I'm kind of messing with Brad. I'm making him feel like it's very turbulent, like he's on a river rafting trip or something, and he can just never get settled to start passing my guard. That's when you're gonna get sweeps and submissions. So where the most basic triangle setup that I use is wrist control. I like this outside grip. This is kind of weird in closed guard, so it's usually gonna be this over the top grip. I can be cross gripping or straight gripping. I get a hold of this wrist and I'm looking to shove it into his waist. If you think about it, the muscles to pull your hand off your waist, it's just your delts right here. It's very weak. So when I shove that in there, it's hard for you to fix, right? I'm gonna open my guard and I'm reaching out. I'm lifting my hips up and I'm reaching out for Brad. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull him in. So it's this feeling of pulling him in. My feet are activated, so my toes are pulled back. What that does is that activates my hamstring. When I relax my foot, my hamstring relaxes. And I need my hamstring. My hamstring's doing this work right here. Keeping Brad's posture down. And I'm squeezing like Suzanne Summers' Thigh Master. Go to Goodwill, they probably have one. Get your Thigh Master going, but even now it's uncomfortable for Brad. Now I want my angle. So I drop my foot, I mean, it's literally just this. Here's what I see a lot of newer people do. They open this up, Brad frames on my leg, pushes my knee to the mat, and I'm getting my guard pass. So it's like you're doing everything right, but you left too much space here. So when I drop my foot to his hip, I don't lose any connection here. And I'm still squeezing this. You can see his head is already red because this sucks, right? So what I'm looking to do is get completely perpendicular to Brad. I'm gonna release this for a second. I wanna look directly in his ear hole. That's kind of my marker. I like to have my knee behind his shoulder so that I have this action going on. I think of like crickets. Like crickets when their legs, how they make that noise. I'm leg pressing here, strongest human movement there is. And I'm pulling this knee back and I'm smashing his head into his shoulder. And then I'm just gonna tuck this under, but everything's facing this way. Here's a problem I see is people start to get their hips out like this and this knee opens and then they're like, can't figure out how to finish this thing. It's really common. I'm actually flat on my back here. I mean, I'm curling up, but I'm not hipped out, okay? So I'm chopping down, leg pressing, pulling this in, and then as soon as I get this under here, this chops down. Both my feet are still active, and it's tight. You can see that by Brad's. Now, the old school triangle was like this. You extend, you pull the elbow across, you pull the head down. Okay, you can tap people that way for sure. But here's the problem with that. Brad has access to my structure here. Our spines are aligned, so he can push directly against my structure and get his posture back, right? When I'm over here, he can't do that. I'm not there. I'm over here. So I've created an angle advantage here. And you can tap people without locking the triangle. And yes, you can pull the arm across and you can mess with the head. What I really like to do here is underhook this leg, and it keeps him from fixing this problem. Second best, underhook the arm. I can threaten the arm here a little bit, but all of that's right there. And then that was kind of step by step, but honestly, when I do triangles from here, I kind of combine the things. Is when I go here, a lot of times I get my angle right then. So as I pull him in, I'm already angling and locking it up. It's really quick. And that's how you can take advantage of mechanical advantage, angle, all those things. Makes it really hard to get out of.
It sure does.
And it's definitive. I like chokes. Danner calls them strangles. I like them better than joint locks because I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're on. I don't care how tough you are. Stop blood flow, night night. Right. Definitive. And you don't have to hurt people, which is really cool. You can end a conflict without hurting somebody. And I think that's awesome too. You got anything?
Oh, amen, brother.
Right on.